Hello, I'm James, and the game for tonight is Sunless Sea. Last time, our most recent captain had died, so we started again with Sir Henry Winthrop Smith. London. She's the greatest city on the Untersee, and don't you forget it. Adopt a Blumigan Gallivanter. Flanagan sits atop a splintered crate, clicking and whistling at captains as they come near. A polite bow shoots in her hand, and the Flanagan leaps on. Its tendrils entwine with your fingers, and it chitters quietly. It meets your gaze and bobs its dome in greeting. Very small. Is it old enough for naval service? You're pretty sure its mustache has been drawn on in pen in an attempt to look older. As you approach your ship's gangplank, the creature flutes and vibrates with apparent happiness. The boatswain winces as you bring it aboard. So sign it as our new mascot. Mirrors and pages. A passenger, someone in the docks, wants to board your ship. Agree to carry the Nomic Gallivant to the Humane Canal or the Iron into Misery plunging station, or both. History is a horse. Who will prick it with their spurs? He cries to no one in particular. A drop of blood may be as precious as a ruby. Welcome aboard. He puffs out his chest. Ruby studs gleam in the lamplight. I knew London had enterprising souls still left in it. I am seeking truth, Sarah, which, I am told, I may find in the Iron and Misery plunging station and the Humane Canal. Ideally, I'd learn both, but I could settle for one. For at Port Cecil there will be a contest, and we will change the world with a game of chess. King will fall. Visit the university. The university has an inexhaustible appetite for secrets, sea specimens, and other tidbits of esoteric lore. Provide a secret to prove yourself worthy of entry. Quite impressed. Oh yes, the university's maritime liaison whispers breathily. Oh yes, this is quite a tasty one. Let me explain it to you, Chief. He grinned, explains, teeth glinting. Ask the scholar about the whisper-locked box. Cobweb-like silver tumblers will align if the words are right. What are the words? Perhaps the makers of the box will know. Advice from the alarming scholar. I have an idea where it's from, but it's a long way there, and I may be wrong. So perhaps I rather like the box. Perhaps you should simply sell it to me. Politely refuse and ask her his advice. Irem would say. The Iremi like locks. They like puzzles. They can make things that are honestly implausible. Their city is perched on Parabola's rim, like a hummingbird on the finger of a god. Go to Irem. Perhaps they can open it for you. Perhaps they can tell you how. Scholar has suggested you seek answers in Irem, in the far northeast from London. Visit the Admiralty's survey office. They'll pay for information from Z captains. Find out what and how. The Admiralty's picket fleets and intelligence networks are long gone. The survey office pays sea captains a small sum for recent information. Ask if there's anything in particular they need. Well, if we can be assured of your discretion, this port. Speak to our agent there and return. We'll see that you're rewarded. Retrieve strategic information from the Iron and Misery Funging Station, somewhere not far from home waters. Offer passage to a tomb colonist. An emigrant will pay to be taken north to Venderbight. It's oddly difficult to die in fallen London. They learned that with Mask of the Rose. When a Londoner is too tatty and wretched to live, they wrap themselves in bandages and take ship for the tomb colony. The crew cart these ones aboard in padded coffins. They'll sleep there until the journey is done. The tomb colonist is in your hold. Take them north to the colony of Venderbight and sell them there. Okay, do we have anything else to do here? Oh, the morning papers. That's always good. News from abroad. The Connie is threatening war. They always are. London's colonies on the Carnelian coast want independence. They always do. The Untersee, the paper's report, has undergone another alteration. Not yet it hasn't, you'd know. Oh, a promotional coupon from Mrs. Plenty's Provisioners for a half-cask of salt herring. You could use that. Gained 1 supplies. You totaled 6. Okay, so we have enough fuel and supplies for the Venderbight run. Let's load up on stuff to sell there. They want mushroom wine. We can get 2 echoes per bottle, or 2 echoes per cast in profit. Going by my notes here. Now let's set out. Take a quick sweep down here. There's some extra fragments. That is, weirdly, not someplace we can dock. That right there looks like it might be a bridge. I'm not sure if it actually is. Ah, it is not. On the horizon, a sickly yellow light glimmers for a moment, then fades. Yeah, we took a point of hull damage, ramming the wall that looked like a bridge. We do not take damage for bumping into buoys, fortunately enough. Discovered Bad Stevener's Abyss. The waves reflect with light. Fed the crew some more. Discovered Hunter's Keep. Discovered Low Barnet. Hunter's Keep. Reconnoiter the island. Plunging cliffs, soft green lawns, a well tucked away in a fold of the ground. Anything else? The sea's silence. Ships rarely come here. Nothing changes, even the weather. The house is the heart of the isle, the house and the sisters. But the Admiralty may be happy to know that nothing's changed, at least. Spy on the house. This place may not be as simple as it seems. Piano music drifts across the terrace. You peer through a half-open French window into a grand parlor, grand in size, but little reduced in style by dust and neglect. A dark-haired, pale-skinned young woman bends earnestly over a piano keyboard. Another, fair-haired but unmistakably her sister, sprawls on the sofa with a book. A third sits by the fireplace, staring sorrowfully into the embers. Soon, she says, and the piano music falters and stops. We'll go hungry, and then the end will come. For me, but not for you. The pianist raises her eyes from the keyboard. Hush, if we don't speak of it. She frowns. Has she seen you at the window? You withdraw. Present yourself at the house. They will have heard your ship come in. Why hide? Knock and enter. A maid with smoldering topaz eyes shows you into the parlor where 3 young women wait. A visitor, the youngest cries. Next youngest chuckles, the eldest sighs. Excuse the indecorum, she says. Visitors are rare. You are very welcome. I am Cynthia, the noisy one is Phoebe, the cheerful one is Lucy. You are in good time for lunch. Will you join us? Luncheon with the sisters, Phoebe. Phoebe is soft-voiced, watchful, unpredictable. Here's a story. Phoebe has a story to tell of 2 lovers parted by water, of a raven that carried messages, of a fragment of the moon. She beats time on the table as she speaks, as if to a song only she can hear. The effect is hypnotic. Their attention drifts out through the skylight of the dining room, to the false stars glittering in the roof of the cavern. You drift like a puffball spore. The Untersee shimmers below, islands tile like mineral specimens on black velvet. Chips bob like wood chips between the islands. Vast spined fins pulse in the depths. There is a scent like the scent before a storm. The storm came, says Phoebe quietly. Everything changed. Somewhere in there he finished the last course. Scowling maid reluctantly serves cheese and Bath Oliver biscuits. You now have Gods of Disease, Storm's attention. Let's see what's over this way. I don't think we've ever filled that out on a map. Discovered the Brickfinger Voice. Far, very far, someone screams. Dust echoes even a sepia tint to the air. These are the waters around the tomb colonies. Discovered Davies Bay. Venderbight is some distance northeast. Blue lightnings crawl leisurely up the funnel. St. Erasmus dancing. The cry goes up. Discovered Carissa's Point. Discovered Horniman's Stag. A row of watchful Z-bats perch on the ship's railing. Their heads swivel in unison as you cross the deck. Discovered Venderbight. The trouble with tomb colonists. You've brought this decaying emigrant north. Now what? One last fight. Your passenger has been drinking. Ahoy, she chortles, defend yourself. She launches a tipsy assault. Your crew hang back, chuckling. Thanks, crew. An effortless defense. Tomb colonists have a lifetime of bitter experience. Some of them are the deadliest combatants under the earth. Possibly this one is, when she hasn't drunk quite so much rum. We'll never know. She salutes you, laughing, after you disarm her. Good fight, she opines. Then she staggers backwards and falls over the side. You never do find what happened to her, but at least you have her rather magnificent cavalry saber and her belongings. You brought a tomb colonist to Venderbight and defeated them in an unexpected duel. Gained an outlandish artifact. and 1 iron. Lost the tomb colonists, gained 2 supplies. Now, first thing to do, we got this mushroom wine to sell, so let's sell it. Gather some gossip. Who's plotting what out in the tomb colonies? Along the coasts of the Untersee, it's remarkably hard to die. Decrepit and nearly dead who leave London become tomb colonists and settle here in bandaged peace. But they don't give up their ties to home or their politics. Gather a haul of complex clues, enough to keep your contacts in London interested. Now have one of this, a port report, Venderbight. Explore Venderbight. Here they favor candlelight over gaslight. The shadows are swagged like cobwebs. The tomb columns stand still enough to be mistaken for sculpture until they laugh or cough. One building in 3 seems abandoned. Monumental ruins. The builders of this place worked with great slabs of meatball stone, carved with blank-eyed, unsmiling faces and blocky, stoic serpents. Okay. Search warily. The meat is rarely gentle. Treat this place as enemy territory. A bad end. An incautious sailor trips over a stone and drops into an unseen pit of sorrow spiders. They swarm him over, pump him full of venom, and fight over his eyes. By the time you've recovered his body for burial, the other sailors are eager to return to the ship. That's in terror, lost a crew. Visit the first curator. Z captains. The first curator gives audience. The first curator is responsible for the preservation of the tomb colonies. It has been here much longer than London, like all the oldest tomb colonists. But even tomb colonists dissolve in the end. Its time is close. No more light, the obsequious steward cautions you. The curator is terribly afraid of moths. He opens the door. You step into near darkness. A pair of luminous lamp-lighted bees buzz in a latticed ivory tube. There is no other source of light. A bandaged shape, no larger than a child, lies crumpled on a couch. It lifts its head with obvious effort. It takes several seconds for you to distinguish its voice from the soft buzz of the bees. Ask about the Grand Sanatorium. One hears the name whispered here and there in the arcades of Venderbight. A long, low chuckle. Oh, Sid, we don't want to. The chuckling becomes a cough. We don't die here, but nothing. We go to see, so we needed something else. Somewhere to add. Listen to a whispered request. We have still speak much left. I will go to the Grand Sanatorium. Bring me colors. 7 colors. Hey, well. 7 colors? Cosmogon. Diego. Helgen. Steward has this. Find them here and there, across the wide black sea. Accept the commission. Thank you. This poor flesh thirsts for colors. No more words. It collapses, rustling, back onto the couch. Even the effort of speaking seems to have diminished a little. The audience is over. As the door opens, it shrinks from the finger of light that reaches across the floor. Outside, the obsequious steward nods. The book? Yes, the book. He hands you a slim, illustrated volume. The curator is old as dust. We will all be grateful if you do it this one last favor. And 7 colors. Okay, now, let's take a look up this way. We have a trail of lights. Where will it lead us? There's some more. Boreal Reach. Is this snow? Touch it and it puffs to vapor. The crew huddles close. The warmth of pipe and funnel. Discovered Censor's Arch. And that I think we can go under. Yeah, I think I saw some snow there. Discovered Andergard Harbor. What's with that scraping sound? Discovered Wither. We may have wandered into unpleasant territory, a bit past our level. Wither, a chilly city beside a waste of salt. Behind the great arch over the bay, the pale voices stretch, white and silent as the face of the moon. From here you might almost imagine there was snow. North of the city, the salt pools fizz with unlikely color. Gather intelligence. The citizens of Wither enjoy questions, so much so that they always answer a question with another question. This can make intelligence gathering frustrating. Are you asking for any particular reason? Or what time of day? Is that your hat? Might it be 6? It could be 6. Eventually, you cobble together enough implication and supposition to compose a report. Explore the town. Wither is a quiet, chilly town of gray stone and closed courtyards. The people are neither exactly unfriendly nor exactly hospitable. They have the irritating habit of answering a question with a question. During there are odd sights tucked away. Who will try, who will buy? A street vendor turns skewers on a grill. The mixed scents are nothing like anything sold in London. Try the grilled troglodyte prawn. Huge and pale, and their eyes stare obliquely into yours, but they smell fresh. Not bad at all, tangy and toothsome. Walk on, chewing cheerfully. Okay. Nothing to buy or sell there. Okay, time to head back. Hopefully away from the lifebirds. Light out, both to save fuel and to avoid attention. Okay, under Sensors Arch. Through this area here. And then loop back to London. And let's do some Z-Bat scouting. Codex is some distance to the northeast. That's potentially interesting. And we've been made. Ouch. The air trembles, a breath of change passes. Oh. Alright, top speed. Get us out of here. Okay. Ask that real quick. Okay, so we get past Chris's point. Pull up the map again to get the next vector. Roughly 170. Codex is just up that way. make a note of it for when we're ready to head there again. On the surface, the sun still warms the earth, or so one assumes. No, let's not make a stop at Hunter's Keep. Not yet. Home waters. Sailors dawdle at the rail, watching for the lights of London. Blue lightnings crawl leisurely up the funnel. St. Erasmus dancing, the cry goes up. Our fuel reserves are empty. Desperate measures. Without fuel, your ship is just an oddly shaped house located somewhere you really don't want to live. This will disappear as soon as you have fuel. If you're in a position to purchase some, don't worry about it. Returning to London. Lights of London welcome you home. This storylet only appears when you've been at sea for a little while. Collect messages from the harbor master. All the clatter and song of the dockside soothes the soul. Are there messages for you? What's this? Let's see. Something has changed in the meeting. Someone wants to sign on. That's all for now. You have one of this, another day, a free evening. The Rose Market bustles on Roser's Wharf. Who will be there today? Okay, so first of all, to the survey office. Hunter's Keep. I trust the sisters are keeping well. They are citizens of her enduring majesty, notionally. Got some fuel and an echo. Venderbight. What have the recently dead been up to then? Fuel and 10 echoes. Wither. I refuse to ask any questions. I don't want to give them the satisfaction. 20 echoes. And a fuel. Ask to speak to the dark spectacled admiral. You have an appointment. No appointment, but apparently I'm to show you in anyway. Very well. The dark spectacled admiral. You're ushered into his office off Mansion's Pyre, a cramped room with a vast desk. He surveys you across that desk. Ah, yes, the merchant captain, of whom we hear such complicated things. The Admiral will purchase intelligence from you. A deplorable end. At the Parthenaeum Club, the Admiral dropped hints about your father and about his deplorable end. What does the Admiral know? Yes, there was a certain report. King Eater's castle, the empty temple at the end of the world. Your father went there. No one makes the pilgrimage there if they intend to return. One way or another, no pilgrim returns home. I have heard that they stay. I've also heard that they go on, somewhere even further. It is a regrettable place, Captain, the King Eater's castle, and its pilgrims do regrettable things. If you go, do not take any who are dear to you. King Eater's castle is in the far southeast of the map. Go there if you must. Okay, so we have a couple things far to the east. Carews in Wolfstack Docks. There is no danger here. Try to enjoy yourself. This will reduce your terror. You might run into trouble or romance. A strange night out. You wake in the back room of Gaston's lamprey, head pounding. You had something to drink, but beyond that it's a little hazy. Your knuckles are bloody. Your blood, you think? And your shirt bloody likewise. Probably not yours, unless your blood is slick and greenish. You've had better nights out. Difficult brew, Gaston says comically. Oh, that was interesting. A new recruit who awaits your attention. Engage an officer, Maybe's daughter. At the end of the rotting dock, a woman perches on a suitcase. Both she and the suitcase are noticeably cleaner than everything else in view. Hello, where are you headed? On second thoughts, I don't mind. Am I from aboard? Yes, I'm an engineer, but I'm an engineer in a hurry. Maybe's daughter is an engineer who increases Vale's iron and engine power. Welcome aboard. If anyone comes looking for me, well, I'm not accepting callers, and I trust you to pass that on. You don't want them distracting me from my duties. Point your new officer by dragging her from the officer's tab to her slot at the top of the screen. Do this in port, not at sea, or you may unsettle your crew. Let's do that. A smile, a wink, a butterfly tattoo. An intense and detailed knowledge of weaponry and engines. Let's add to our veils, so that we can sneak around a little better. Increase her veils. She'll tell you her secrets if you tell her yours. Complex knowledge. She's serious once she gets talking. There's hard edges under the bluff and banter. put our ship in dry dock. We are not looking very good right now. So let's try Admiralty Yards. You may call in some of your Admiralty favors to have cheap, good quality work done on your ship. This will completely repair your hull. Rapid efficiency. All shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well very quickly. Okay. We have a bit of fuel. We have some supplies. What's the Roser's War? Someone wants an extraordinary implication. Someone wants an unread log. They have complimented crew. Pick up some more fuel and some more supplies. Yeah, that'll do. And then let's head out. 5 fuel, 5 supplies. Don't need lights when we're this close to London. Mutton Island is some distance to the southeast. You already knew that, but the waves are cluttered with sea wrack like drowned hair drifting. Discovered Rowena's rocks and Moody's light. Let's speak to the crew. Traded recent news for Aziz's story. They long for the news of home, tea beneath the light, in the bleaching glare of the lens, among the smells of oil and metal. We sip tea and chat. Aziz's terror recedes. Here, the wilder airs mingle with the airs of near reaches. Demeaux's gate, named for a navigator lost above. How did his bones come below? Demeaux Island is some distance to the east. Due east. Discovered Demeaux Island, 50 fragments gained. Discovered Iron and Misery Company plunging station. Restless nights. In the watches of the night, you pad softly past the hatch to the food forts. A man cries out softly in his sleep, desperately. Another. Inquire about their dreams the next morning. What did they see? Eyes and a face. The whole roof lit up like a snuffer mask. There's something in the roof, Captain. It is the roof. It's watching us. Eyes and a face. Eyes and a face. Yes, you say softly. You lay your hand on the sailor's burning forehead. There are storms in the roof. Hush. We won't join them yet. That is successful. In 10 terror. And 20 fragments. Wonder what would have happened if it had failed. Demeaux Island, a fervid forest of fungus. Iron and Misery Company, funging station. I&M has a funger operation here, felling giant bulbous mushrooms for building materials, harvesting purely for its medicinal properties. It's a desperate little outpost of something like civilization. Up puffs the affable factor. Oh, hello, Captain. Thank God for visitors. Would go quite mad out here otherwise. Quite mad. How can we be of assistance? Okay, pick up some strategic information. Give the pass sign to the affable factor. The Admiralty asks you to bring back strategic information. This is your contact. A strange smile. Yes, I have it here. The courier ship to Mount Palmerston stopped off to resupply. Tell the Admiralty, tell them I miss my children. Tell them I can't take it here much longer. The spores, the dark. Okay. Tea with the factor. Poor fellow needs company, and he can spare an hour away from his schedule. An interlude. We sit on the veranda of the factor's house, looking out over the fungal jungle, an expanse of green and sour gold. The air is thick with hovering spores. The stones are stale. Even the tea has a hint of mildew. But the factor is good company. He shares odd stories about the ice and roses of Irem, the monstrosities of the Sea of Lilies, a little restaurant in Venderbight where he enjoyed the most extraordinary seafood. Venderbight, I know. I've never met a tomb colonist who could cook. But you must visit the place. Do you know it? He also has a load of Bulgius frond carted aboard your ship. He waves away your thanks. I have eaten so much of the stuff that I fear I might be transformed entirely into fungus. He leans confidentially towards you. It happens, you know, but one does have to eat rather a lot of it first. You've been told of an exceptionally fine restaurant in Venderbight. Stand in the right place at the right time for the Nomic Gallivant. I don't like comedians. I'm a very serious man, but we agree on one thing, timing. That's why I'm breaking into the factor zone, and why I need you to distract him until I found a special itinerary. A pleasant distraction. Just so happens that you bump into the factor on his walk home. What a happy coincidence. You couldn't possibly manage this entire picnic basket by yourself. Overjoyed to have your company, he joins you on a bench for the next hour, merrily eating sandwiches. You take your leave once you have seen the Gallivant pass by. Back on your deck, the Gallivant laughs jovially, his rubies winking in the light. Iron and Misery will be sending a representative to the contest in Port Cecil. There's a full itinerary for all of the events, tailored for every attendee. I have the dictator's moves mapped. Should have done this first. Compile a port report. The Admiralty likes to keep an eye on Iron and Misery's activities. Business of spores. Of course, Signedam's activities here don't seem that interesting. Nevertheless, record what you can. Gather supplies. Some of the island's fungus is good to eat. Some is poisonous, hallucinogenic, or mischievous. Good luck. A thud of dread. The spores lie thick on your face. They coat your tongue. One crewman begins to whimper. Oh, Christ, he says. They've reached my heart. I think I'll be harvest yet. Harvest yet. You have to drag him back to the ship before he's calm again. Okay, let's go then. We have lights over this way. Discovered the Phosgene Bleaks. Bonnie Reeves is some distance to the northeast. Okay, 30. Not go up that. Okay. That was pretty bad. You defeated an Alcaeus-class vessel, crippled, broken, already feeding the Z's endless hunger. Little remains of the ship with scraps of sinking cargo and a few buoyant parts of its splintered carcass. Investigate the wreckage. You'll have to be quick to salvage anything. You steer close, shining the lamp on the debris. Captain, quick! Over there, port side. The pirate poet. The legendary clay woman corsair. He clings tight to the last few scraps of floating debris, defeated but defiant. Rescue the pirate poet. Throw her a rope. Claim a bounty. The price of freedom. It takes 3 crewmen to pull the pirate poet from the Z's clutches, while others mutter about bringing an unfinished man, an unfinished woman, aboard ship. She just smirks. She carries little on her but the verses of poetry tattooed over every visible inch, and an old sword almost as chipped as she is. Fortunately, her salvaged possessions also include the jangling money purse on her belt, fat and ready to pay the traditional freedom price of her current bounty. As much as the crew could subdue her, all are relieved once she is aboard a lifeboat, rowing away through the darkness towards Gator's Moor. The occurrence, your encounters with the pirate poet quality is, you have defeated the pirate poet. Gained 400 echoes. Okay. That used up a lot of fuel. Time to start thinking about heading back home. Lights out. A fallen stone. Now and then, rocky fragments fall from the roof of beneath. The decks of older ships are pocked with scars. The sound is one no landlubber knows, and no sailor will ever forget. This one has smashed the glass of a deck binnacle. Ill omen, one sailor cries. The god in the roof, storm, is angry. Make a sacrifice to avert misfortune. In the stories, Storm is the noisiest, angriest, and least reasonable of the Z gods. Better not take chances. Simple rite. Your sailors know the words. You mumble them. A gift of wine and fish is suitable, marked with the captain's blood. Ow! Bound with copper wire and cast overboard from the prow. The package bobs for a moment, and then is sucked beneath the ship. You know something of the 3 gods of the Z. You now have Storm's attention. Lost of supplies, lost of terror. The captain can't be seen to take these things seriously. Silence at the breakfast table. The crew is subdued as they take their meals, but all is quiet in the next watch. Lost one terror. Yep. Yeah, almost a straight shot back. Our fuel reserves are empty. Okay, I think we have enough to make it back. Yes. This force. Throw in those rocks. There's the light ship. Straight line through the light ship. An electric shiver to the air. Storm is watching, the sailors would say. Home waters. Sailors dawdle at the rail, watching for the lights of London. Distant bells. And it just scraped in with 50 terror. Okay, so first of all, the survey office. Demeaux Island. You've been to Demeaux's Gate? 20 echoes, 1 fuel. Strategic information. What's that? Indeed. I'll send you up directly to speak to the Admiral himself. Pass on strategic information. The Admiral sits up, although he steeples his fingers and pretends calm. Invisible eyes. He's hard to read with those glasses, but he reads the summary intently. Satisfactory. Says at last. Eminently satisfactory, actually. Good work. Take this for your trouble. The court will see you paid. Ask if there's anything in particular he needs. Well, if I can be assured of your discretion, this port. Speak to our agent there and return. We'll see that you're rewarded. Now, Palmerston, somewhere northeast of London. Carouse and we'll stack up. No, wait. First, let's check the morning papers. The unexpurgated Gazette, the magazine formerly known as the London Magazine, the spiteful trumpeter, news. The Echo Bazaar, that enigmatic marketplace, has increased its tax on love stories. Traitor Empress has forbidden singing in the street outside her palace. The anarchists of the Calendar Council have inexplicably dynamited a drinking fountain. The Ministry of Public Decency has located and destroyed a nest of gallbiter moths. Now let's carouse in Wolfstack Docks. There's no danger here. Try to enjoy yourself. A marvelous night out. Sea shanties, fine food, and the warmth of a pub fire, and something more. We're fortunate. Lost 5 terror, lost 10 echoes, got recent news, another day, trouble, and romance. That night in Wolfstack, you find yourself sharing a table with a likely lass, a dapper chap. A dapper chap, an elegant fellow with a Presbyterian accent and an unexpectedly delighted laugh. By the evening's end, it seems natural that he should accompany you home. An interlude. The next morning, he gives you a golden locket. Don't lose it, he says with a grin. Then he grows suddenly grave. Truly, don't lose it. Okay, put the ship in dry dock. Let's try Cotterell and Hathersedge this time. We've got some spare cash. Hull is now 75. New recruit who awaits our attention. Engage an officer, the sigil-ridden navigator. Let me guide your ship. I know all the sea, how it was, how it will be. Please, the headaches only stop when I'm working. The navigator is a first officer who increases mirrors and veils. Welcome aboard. Thank you. Oh, my God, the air, it's clearer already. Let me chart a course for you. My head. Okay. Let's see what he's after. Speak to the shady cook. What you want? He might say more, but a coughing fit takes him. Eventually, he straightens up and wipes his mouth slowly with his forearm. The shady cook is not the most hygienic of officers, but he'll do until we find someone better. Let's increase our hearts. Spend a secret to improve your hearts, but no higher than 50. Skorgolot gubbins. Gamasoni. Gained 1 hearts, lost a secret. Let's do it again. Ask him what he wants from life. Why did the shady cook choose to go to Z? Wearer. He looks you directly into the eyes. Zeoli. He repeats it more slowly. Sea of lilies. He licks his lips very slowly. Eventually, you have to look away. The Sea of Lilies is somewhere in the east central under Z. And maybe there's something we can talk to about the sigil-ridden navigator. Invite him to dine with you. Oh, speak with your nose. Yes, now is good. Thank you. And to dine with you. He has an admirable appetite for so slight a fellow. Forgetfulness. Seconds, then thirds, disappear in small, hasty morsels. He is nervous and not a gifted conversationalist. You do your best to plug the silence. When you ask about his past, he winces. Can't say, sir, this. He taps the livid sigil on his temple, which twitches like a scorpion's sting, has burned away my memories. I recall I have a brother, but not his name or where he is. I remember the names of the ships I served on, the Implicit, the Bonnie Swan, but not their crew. How did he come by the sigil? Clutches his head. I don't know. Thinking about it is like fire in my skull. He grits his teeth. Someone must have hated me very much to curse me with it. I can't even remember my enemy. Okay, now then. Merchant Venturer. An urchin tugs your sleeve. Governor wants a word. The brooding figure waits at the lamplight's edge. Speak to the Merchant Venturer. I have need of a reliable agent. Failing that, an inventive one. Here are my requirements. An opportunity for profit. He has very specific needs, but he'll pay much better than market rates. And he won't ask how you came by these things. Something silky. I'll offer you a better price than you'll get in Wolfstaff. Much better. 1,500 echoes for the lot. You'll find silk in Saviour's Rock, far to the east, or in the Connate near the V's Heart. Something warming. They sell it in Mount Palmerston, somewhere in the north of the Untersee. 1,000 echoes for 7 sealed skins of Zoop. Okay. Two journeys. Let's refresh our crew a bit. Hire on more crew. Sensible sailors are looking for a safe run to the tomb colony, or at least a sane run to the southern archipelago. You'll need to buy drinks, spread around hiring fees. Look for daredevils. Rich pickings. Your tall tales find a ready audience. Scarred and seasoned men and women tramp aboard and find places to sling hammocks. Okay, and again. And then let's restock on fuel. And on supplies. Yes, we can afford to splurge now. And then pick out our next location. South. The Cumane Canal, Mutton Island, and then swing back up north. Out. Don't lose it. You stand on the bridge with the dapper chap's locket in your hand. Keep it. It's a risk for both of you. Shorebound lovers grow lonely, and Z captains die young. Close your hand over the locket. The Z air is cold, but the heat of your blood has warmed the metal of the locket. Keep it close. You have a sweetheart in London. Ah. Fed the crew. The air trembles. Breath of change passes. Discovered Murray Straits. Swing around to Mutton Island. Discovered Mutton Island. Discovered Quaker's Haven. Mutton Island. Fires on the hillside. Quaker's Haven. Once, this simple fishing village was part of the London suburbs before London fell and the waters rushed in. Smoke spirals from cottage chimneys. A lonely hill rises behind town. Okay, let's start by compiling a port report. Chat to the fishermen. They sail the sea around the island. They mend their nets by the harbor. They see all that happens here, but you'll need coin to open their mouths. Little ships and little secrets. Pirates pulling the waves. Smugglers at their work. Conate ships putting in to resupply. Nothing dramatic, but enough to interest the Admiralty. Gained one echo, or lost an echo. Now have a port report on Quaker's Haven. Let's visit the, or no, let's check on this midnight ceremony. A warm night on Mutton Island. A balmy wind blows from the east, rich with promise. There are torches bobbing up the hill. Whatever's happening, it's for locals only, but you could follow them. Too late. You don't know the hill paths like the locals do, and you have to climb more than walk. Your skin sheened with sweat by the time you reach the top. Black rocks greet you with empty indifference. Something happened up here. You're too late to see it. Still, the climb was good practice. Okay, is there anything we can buy or sell here? No, there is not. Covered in auroral megawatts. hopefully it has not discovered us. Wait. Apparently it did discover us. Why isn't it in our sights? The Megalops defeated. With a forlorn and wailing cry, the Megalops turns on its back, legs neatly folded. As bluish blood gouts its wounds, golden glow begins to dim. Butcher it for supplies. With pale and salty meat, the crew will feast. That glowing flesh is unstable. It crisps and withers as the glow fades. So eat while it's fresh. All clear now. We have entered a fog bank. The gunners struggle to see our foe. Fortunately, we don't have a foe right now. Follow the coastline. Having lights up does help a little here. Discovered the Cumaean Canal. Discovered Albertine Gates. Burning blue. A hiss of horror from the lookout. The glim lamp at the front of the ship is sputtering and arcing, fizzing with blue light. Even as you watch, the blue fades, but it's not a good omen. Attempt to calm them. There's a perfectly natural explanation. Light meets dark. The darkness underneath is more than the absence of light. The physical presence which distorts the shape of the world. Your light melts the darkness, restores sanity to the world. You explain something of this to your sailors. Not the first time they've heard it, but they seem slightly less nervous. A rock breaks the water like a surfacing Z-beast. No, it's a Z-beast. No, it's a rock. Main canal staging area. Here, the dark waters run down from the surface. For a brighter sea, assists the Nomic Gallivant in an enterprise of dubious legality. A riddle. There are 10 individuals in the room, one of whom is an ancient tyrant. How can you distinguish him? Answer. Burglarize a private library for a picture of him before him. Knowing the enemy. As dinner bells sound throughout the port, you carry a ladder to one of the long-moored, half-legal ship hostels. You prop the ladder to the porthole of what the Gallivant assures you is the cabin of a French diplomat. He descends swiftly, leaving you to carry the ladder away. Half an hour later, the Gallivant is back on your deck. He polishes his ruby cuffs. I have seen the face of eternity printed in ink. It was a terrible face. Gather information for a port report. Many ships pass this way, but perhaps you'll pick up something they missed. Business as usual. The gates open and shut. The locks remain free from sabotage. If anywhere besides London is safe in all the Untersee, it's here. The surface nations have an interest in keeping the way open. The perfunctory port report. Listen for surface gossip. The ships of the surface linger here. This is their lifeline to a warmer place. Daylight. This would be a prime spot for a pub or wine shop, but the interests of the Echo Bazaar and the laws of London prevent it. They don't like competition. Still, there are temporary, half-legal hostelries in long-moored ships. Here you trade stories with suntanned surface sailors. Stories of Paris and Batavia, the lost fires and the final isles. And that'll be it for now. The crawling stars. The lookout shouts. Far above, the false stars in the cavern roof are shifting, a rare and ominous event. What now? Record the change and assign a name. If the new shape seems well-omened, your crew may be cheered. Who knows? The Z-Bat. That is luck, a gaff-toothed stoker observes. All agree. Lathery but lucky. Okay, we have lights. Not down that far just yet, so... I think I saw one up here. Yes, there it is. Turn out our own light to save fuel. And start sending out for bat reports. Yep, of it. Abbey Rock is some distance to the southeast. Okay. Actually, where are these lights going? Shepherd's Watch, the salty hinterland of London, home to hermits, nuns, and shadowy business. Fed the crew. Discovered Glitterstone Isle. 50 fragments. And there's a lighthouse. Westergren's Fire, it says. There's probably a dock. Discovered Field Haven. Discovered Wolf's Rift. Shepherd Isles. Sheep, lichen, standing stones. Of course, the bearded watchman tells you, there are no actual shepherds on the Shepherd's Isles. Sheep are mostly illegal here. No, indeed, it's just the name of the gentleman that found the islands. Greybeard, sitting in the village square, nods solemnly. No sheep, one says, but plenty of tails. Ask us anything. Compile a port report. Oh, yes, yes, my yes. There's been goings-on in the bleak light of the false stars. Surface roiling like a porridge pot, up with a roar of steam and flash and fire, 3 widows swimming, tentacles! And then we saw his highness. There's rather a lot of this material. A picnic at the Standing Stones. The bearded villagers will sell you mutton stew and kefir, and stone bottles of cold, fresh spring water, and row you over to the stones. An odd find. Their sailors watch the fireflies shimmer, swap shanties, pass round the grog and shy stones at the more vampirically inclined Z-bats. Grasses nod in the breeze. Across the dark water, the lights of Abbey Rock glow watchfully. Your bosun hands you something. Found a rock, he reports laconically. Pretty sure it's dead. You have one ambiguous ailment. A thinking creature made this, or the sea made this, or both. Okay, nothing else to do. Let's continue. Wait. Oops. Now, there's a light over here. Let's head up to Demeaux Island first, though. So, 3:45. Discovered Thornwell Croft. Not get it. Of the crew. And there's a light. Here, the wilder airs mingle with the airs of the near reaches. Demeaux Gate, named for a navigator lost above. How did his bones come below? Okay, due north. The glassy chop of dark water, the iron clatter of feet at the hatchway. Okay. Port report first. Then a spot of tea with the factor. Then gather some supplies. Then launch. Again, this time we have enough supplies that we can afford a trip a little further north. Up to Bonnie Reefs. And hopefully the pirate poet isn't hanging out there anymore. Okay, that's not good. Waves slap the side of the ship. Far below, something moves. Discovered Pure Wall Point. And to calm them, there's a perfectly natural explanation. Listen a moment. Your measured and rational speech does you no good. The crew know bad luck when they see it. That. We got Buffy, and that didn't spot us. There's Hunter's Keep. Some sort of beetle has invaded your morsel of ship's biscuit. It waggles its antennae impertinently. Ha. Hunter's Keep. Okay. Reconnoiter the island. And then let's luncheon with Lucy. Lucy, the middle sister, the sunny, old restless, prone to giggles. The daft tale. Lucy leans over and whispers to you confidentially a complex story about a butler, a pig, and an inheritance. You don't follow all the details of the plot, but somehow, Pig ends up in an attic, and the butler in a vicar's bed. Candles flicker, dishes enter and leave, and the wind butts gently at the windows. By the time the plum pudding arrives, you're as cheerful as you've been in months. And that got us Stone's attention. Now, back to London we go. Lights out. Going to be fairly well lit on the way back. The air trembles, a breath of change passes. But the crew. And now we actually have some fuel when we arrived. And getting a bit late, I'm going to call it here. I have been James. The game has been Sunless Sea. Thank you for watching. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you like content like this. Thank you for that as well.